How is it going, YouTube? Malagant here. We're going to be talking about how to level the Oathkeeper. If you're curious about any other masteries, you can definitely find every single one of them and the other versions of basically this style of video on my channel. Make sure to check it out. That being said, about the Oathkeeper, one thing that I'll mention is that, like, compared to some of the other classes, something like Soldier, Necromancer, Inquisitor, maybe even Shaman, Oathkeeper kicks in a little bit later on when it comes to like power leveling. Simply because I didn't necessarily enjoy the, speed leveling of like Aegis of Men here. Obviously, not Righteous Fervor either, so I've decided to like continue with the Wise Might. We're going to be talking about like how to level it up, especially like the skill. But before that, I'll also mention the same thing that I'm going to be mentioning basically in every single this style of video, is the fact that, like, there's a rule to level up fast and to level up reliably, let's say, in a strong, as a strong character also. We pick one ability, and that ability supposedly has to be some sort of like an AoE ability, so that like it kills the masses, but at the same time it's kind of effective on single target as well. On top of this, we don't split our damage, so if it's like fire, we try to be fire and burn, not necessarily fire, burn, and maybe vitality and poison, or just vitality to the side a little bit. Let's try to have the pen scale the vitality. No, if you split, you're going to be basically nerfing your own character, especially at the very early on into the game. So try to stay one element or next to it. It can have the corresponding damage over time, so like physical with trauma, fire with burn, you can have lightning with electrocute, etc. And stick to it and like support it every single way possible. So what is that? Devotions, obviously. You have components, obviously. You have the auras that you can go for from the skills, or the components as well, of course. You have this gear, especially, obviously, as well. And then on top of that, the last thing is that maxing the skill out, which is possibly the highest support that you can give to this ability. So in this case, the ability is going to be the Wise Might. So we try and rush to this at the very early on the game. As I said at the beginning of the video, it is going to be slowly kicking in. We're gonna put like maybe 1 or 2 points. It's kind of up to you. I personally, honestly, I just put 1. And then I put also 1 to the Avenging Shield. The purpose is to just, slack around till we get to the Wise Might. And once I'm at Wise Might, I actually take those points away. I kind of put about like 4 to 5 points. What I found out is that like the biggest part of this Wise Might is actually the Volcanic Stride and the fact that it's capable of converting the entire physical into fire damage. That is incredibly big, especially for a leveling ability, especially for a strength ability at this caliber, let's say. So we are going to be maxing out these two first, or at least, putting 1 point into this and, having maxed out Volcanic Stride as soon as possible. I want to actually like showcase this ability, what it does. So the Wise Might is this charge ability right here, and the flame patch that you see on the floor is the stride ability, this one. And we are going to be maxing this out first. So about like 4, maybe 5 points or something into this is more than enough. And then we will start rushing. We're going to take the might along the path, and then we're going to also max out this one as soon as possible. Afterwards, you can turn back and max out the Wise Might as well. So if you would like to, talk about like how to kill or how to, engage an opponent, if this is like an enemy, you basically charge to the right side and they're going to be burning inside this. The best part is that like while you're rushing, where you're going, stuff will try to follow you and they will literally die inside the fire, and the damage is amazing. Personally, I, found out that like leveling up with the two-hander has been the best experience for me when it comes to this ability, at least. But you could, if you would like to, play with like one hand and a shield, which Oathkeeper has a lot of support with. You could definitely do that too. Like your damage is going to be fine. The only thing that is going to be different a little bit is going to be your devotions, and we are going to be talking about them next. So after these two are maxed, we are going to be maxing out the tectonic shift as well. What this one does is that like it's actually widening the range of your reach with the Wise Might, obviously, and at the same time it also lowers the cooldown as well, which is pretty good. pretty good. The next thing that we will focus and rush is going to be the divine mandate. And let me tell you that, like, try not to, put any points anywhere else. Just rush for the divine mandate. After maxing out the divine mandate, you could kind of do whatever you would like to. If there's like a secondary mastery that you would like to take, especially if it's like, giving you any mobility, any defenses, or like any sort of like a fire, in this case, support, which in my case it was a demo in this case, so it was like a very good support actually. After completing this, you could do that. So in your case, whatever it is, if you would like to, you could. But if you would like me to tell you, like, to give some sort of like a priority to the next step inside the Oathkeeper as well, probably the Celestial Presence would be the next thing to go to. So the modifier of the Guardian of the Empyrean would be pretty important, simply because like we are dealing all fire damage at this point with one ability, very, very hard hitting ability, and this is going to be, applying that minus resistance, and it's a very reliable way to apply it too. Afterwards, yeah, you can see that like I've taken this and that, like literally. We are sitting on level 52. I think this was about like a 2 hour 20 minutes leveling to level 52, if I'm not mistaken. Let's talk about the way that we do our devotions up to this point also. Yeah, as I was saying, like, it's possible to go for two-handers. That was kind of more fun and in my opinion, a little bit more effective as well, in my experience. But you could definitely go for one-hander as well. So if you're a one-hander and a shield, or like, maybe even you're dual wielding or something, you're gonna probably be rushing for the Rowan's crown. It is entirely possible for you to like just go ahead and like take something like a flame torrent at the very beginning if you would like to. Feel free to do so. But in my opinion, it's a little bit better to just suck it up and go for the Rolling Crown, simply because like we don't necessarily need that damage boost. You're gonna have enough of a damage with the Volcanic Stride, the flame patch on the floor, that you will, let the monsters burn inside. And we are going to try and get to this. So to get to this as fast as possible, we'll take the Quill, we'll take the Scholar's Light, and if I'm not mistaken, 1 point into the purple in the crossroads is more than enough. So that is going to be unlocking the crown. Once you have taken every single point into it, you can actually like remove that point as well. Obviously, to kick these in, you're gonna need to like, take one green over there too. But after completing either one of these, you'll be able to remove that too. That is another very important thing about Grim Dawn Devotions. You can actually like play it very greedy, meaning that you can bait these constellations to activate, and afterwards, once you complete them, you could actually take the build up away, in most cases at least, if they're valuable. So if you're using a two-hander, however, so if you are going to be leveling up with a two-hander, instead of the crown, we're actually going to be rushing for the Kraken, and Kraken is incredibly big. It's crazy damage. So that being said, how do you rush for the Kraken? The first thing that we will take is going to be the Scholar's Light. Very valuable, especially for the early game while leveling as well. Incredibly valuable. To activate this, we're gonna have like 1 point into the green in the crossroads, and then afterwards we'll take 1 point to the blue and take the Sailor's Guide. If you would like to at this point, you can definitely take away the blue points, because this Kraken just needs 5 blue, and we already have 5 from the Sailor. It is also possible to like play it even greedier than this and take only 2 blues from somewhere else if you would like to. That's up to you, entirely up to you. But Sailor's Guide is a good leveling constellation as well, simply because like good resistance, good movement speed, and reduces freeze duration as well. Pretty legit thing. Anyways, like without getting too spaced out here, so we have Sailor's Guide. We have 1 point into the green, and we have the Scholar's Light. That's going to be unlocking the Kraken. You can complete the Kraken and then come down to continue the build up towards the Rowan Crown, in that case, just like the one-hander and the shield. And to complete that, you will have to take the Quill. You're gonna need to click this one, the purple, and it's gonna unlock this. Now in this case, just like on the one-hander and shield, once you completed it, you'll be able to like take this away. Not only that, but we also left 1 point over here. You'll be able to take this away as well. So those 2 points are being, able to be removed after completing the crown, or, after completing Quill as well, but just the green, obviously, if you're gonna play it greedy that way. So crown Scholar and the Quill for a one-hander shield. And if you're going for a two-hander, Kraken and Sailor, Kraken being the most priority one in that case. I think this is going to be it from me. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I really do hope so. I'll see you next time, YouTube. Thank you for watching.